Well, this, of course, conversation came up because of the Sun splash this morning. Big front page, taking us for a ride. Illegal boat arrivals, illegal migrants get food bite jobs within hours of arriving, plus a free hotel room. It's just another real explanation and an example of our broken borders. Let's speak now to Thomas Godfrey. He's the reporter on the front page this morning, Sun investigation, in which it has proven that people are taking in as much as £1,000 a week operated from asylum accommodation, which are being used as hubs for black market work on apps like Deliveroo and Just Eat. An extraordinary story. Thomas, a great story. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Morning, Mike.
It's an incredible one, this, because not only did you discover it going on in one hotel, but you looked at hotels all over Manchester, Bournemouth, different parts of London as well. You even had an undercover operative who was offered work, right?
We did, yeah. I was posing as a new arrival into the country from Afghanistan, and repeatedly when I told some of these Deliveroo dealers, as they've come to be known on social media, that I didn't have the documents to work, they said it was no problem. I could continue to work and I could continue to rake in hundreds of pounds a week. And once you understand that, just how easy it is to get hold of one of these accounts on Deliveroo or Just Eat or Uber Eats, you start to understand why so many arrivals into the UK are doing it and completely disregarding the law. They don't care about the law at all to do this. The delivery companies appear to have turned a blind eye, and the Home Office has failed to crack down on it, and it is just fueling this huge black economy.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Just a little bit of breaking news to break in with Israel say it's detected missile launches from Iran. The Israeli military says it has activated sirens in northern Israel after detecting the launch of missiles from Iran. We'll keep a track on that. There is meant to be a ceasefire going on. So coming back to you, Thomas, the thing is, you've also got a great sort of breakdown of how easy it is from arriving on the shores of this country, from getting off the boat to getting on a bike. Basically, it can be done in a matter of hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Home Office have 24 hours to process new arrivals into the UK. They come into Dover, they're taken to Manston, where they're not allowed to stay overnight because of the rules around accommodation. It means within the same day that they arrive, and remember, a lot of these small boats come in the early hours of the morning, just after sunrise. So the same day they are bussed to a hotel where they can spend up to 12 months. The migrants have no say in where they are put, because otherwise all of them would choose central London. Right. But the ones in the sort of urban areas of big cities we found were the most likely to start working on this racket. And so Bournemouth, which has 3 migrant hotels, we found that at least at 2 of them, people were coming and going at all hours of the day in these Deliveroo uniforms. And it basically just proves that, as you said, within hours of arriving now, it is such a quick and efficient process. There are so many people willing to facilitate it as well and completely break the law. Within hours of arriving, they can be delivering McDonald's or a KFC to someone's front door with absolutely no background checks as to who they are.
Right. And in terms of how they get paid, how does that work? Because presumably if you're a migrant, you come into the country, you haven't got a bank account as such. So is there a sort of gangmaster running all this from the top? How does it work?
Yeah, well, look, we spoke to someone from the Workers' Information Exchange, one of these unions representing legitimate delivery drivers, and they said that they'd heard of one case where Just Eat had paid 50 different accounts into one bank account. And I think that just goes to show how ripe for exploitation the system is too, because, as you say, a lot of these people won't have UK bank accounts after immediately coming in. They can eventually set one up when they've been in the UK for long enough. But they are using, we found, sort of global payment platforms, things like PayPal, Wise, the online bank, to actually transfer the money. Now, obviously, the money they make from delivering orders will go into the bank account of the person who owns that account. So it's then up to them, the dealer, as it were, to take their cut of the earnings and send on the money to the migrants. And we've been told that that could be as much as £1,000 a week. The people I spoke to promised I would make at least £250 a week had I actually gone on to rent an account from them for as much as £100 a week. It's a serious investment for anyone, let alone someone who's just entered the UK. But had I gone on to rent the account, I was promised I could have made £250 a week minimum.
And that's how you realise, I suppose, that this might be a much more organised thing than we know, because, you know, I've always believed that an awful lot of the people coming on the small boats aren't necessarily paying cash to their people traffickers. They're sort of getting into debt in order to do it, and when they land, they get told, right, you now owe us £3,000, so now you're going to go and do this until you pay us back, and then they never really let them go.
Yeah, well, I think you have to realise this thing is cyclical. As you say, people come over and can be put effectively into slave work to pay off their debts to people smugglers. But then, when they keep earning money, they can funnel it back home for a relative, a friend, a partner, whoever, to make the same journey across the channel and join them in the UK, where obviously they may be put in a different hotel, but then at least they are in the same country together, reaping the benefits of Britain and what Britain offers. And it's a far better asylum offering than in France or in Italy or in any other European country. And that's why so many people flood here, because also, it seems, there's absolutely no crackdown on this type of blatant illegal work.
No, there doesn't seem to be. I mean, you've got a piece in the end saying that Angela Eagle, the Home Office Minister, may be meeting some of these companies. They've always denied this, because I remember a couple of years ago we had a conversation with Isabel Oakeshott, and we've seen over the years just people's kind of thinking. And when you see somebody arriving at your door and you think that's not who said he was, you know, people have suspected this. I mean, you finally nailed it down, but people have suspected this for a long time. But they've always denied it, haven't they? The food companies themselves.
Well, they've also always enthusiastically encouraged the addition of verification checks, but it is just laughable in a way, because there's just absolutely no enforcement going on, up to the point that all of these accounts are being traded in open Facebook groups. I mean, it does not take someone with sort of police powers or special National Crime Agency detectives to go in and bust these gangs. These are gangs that are easy to smash. They're on Facebook in public. It was actually fairly straightforward to get in touch with people. Within 10 minutes of trying, I've been offered free accounts.
Right.
I mean, it is completely preposterous, really. And so, yes, the government and the companies both say that they want to crack down. But you go to the exterior of any migrant hotel, and what you see says the opposite. There's one in Barbican in the City of London, one of the world's biggest financial hubs, where these drivers were causing disturbances outside because they were parking dozens of bikes going off at all hours of the day. And instead of fixing the problem, the Home Office and the people running that hotel, the contractors, simply put a fence up with a black felt screen over it so that the passing public couldn't see them. And it is literally just a metaphor for how we kick the can down the road on this problem. And it's only got worse, and it's only going to get worse. And so hopefully, thanks to our work and the work of our reporters and our teams, hopefully something can start to happen around this.
Absolutely right. Well, listen, it's a fantastic story, Thomas. Well done, and great credit to you guys and the team at The Sun for finding it out. Terrific stuff. Thomas Godfrey, their reporter at The Sun. Fantastic story. Absolutely blows the lid off what anybody will tell you about. Oh, but when they come here, they're not allowed to work. Oh, really? Says who? You give them 10 minutes, they're on a bike, bringing you your fish and chips, or whatever it is you've ordered.